phone you use and whether or not you plan to upgrade in the comments section. Whether or not you like the iPhone X, be sure to like this video and subscribe